lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be going through J. Scott Campbell's Danger Girl Sketchbook, the expanded edition. But before I get into it, just want to remind everybody, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out some of the other dope content we have on the channel. We got interviews, we got deep dives, we got indie creator spotlights, we got artist edition stuff, new comic books, old comic books, all that good stuff. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can check out all the dope stuff on the channel and stay up to date on all the new stuff we got coming out, which a lot of cool stuff coming out in the year in 2024. So be on the lookout for that. Now let's get into this. This is the expanded edition. So this did previously come out in comic book size. I believe it was a prestige format. I think I have it somewhere. I'm not really sure where it is, but I know I picked it up when it first came out, but this is the one done by IDW. Oversized. Get to see some of this stuff. Getting to see this stuff at a larger size definitely is always better, in my opinion. That's why I love the artist editions that IDW puts out. Fantagraphics puts out some really good studio editions. Then we have Graffiti Designs that does some really dope books as well. But this one's kind of a small one. This is just his sketchbook, so we get to see the kind of how it started. This is a great run from. This was a fun time in comic books. When Cliffhanger was part of Wildstorm. You had Crimson, Danger Girl, Steampunk, Battle Chasers. Danger Girl was always one of my favorites. I've always been a huge J. Scott Campbell fan, so really cool to find out that there was a hardcover edition of this sketchbook, because anytime you can get some stuff by him, get a little peek into his mindset and the design sense, I really love to check that stuff out. So it's kind of cool. We get a little intro from him talking about revisiting this stuff and how proud he was of this, and much of the art he produced, such as character, concept designs, toy designs, video game illustrations, just plain old sketching, has for the most part either never been published or only rarely seen. Many of these drawings are some of his absolute favorites. That's just a little bit of the intro that he talks about. We get the origins of Danger Girl we got Abbey Chase, she's the main character. These are his concept drawings, some of the rough ideas for the members. Definitely makes me want to pick up some of his other sketchbooks that I know he does, like for all his Marvel cover work. I love this stuff, man. I just love how each of the Danger Girls definitely has their own vibes to them. You can see Natalia Kassle, Sydney Savage, and Valerie. And he mentions out, the cowgirl never really stuck or gelled with any of the final characters, which is true. But, he draws some of the most beautiful women in comic books, hands down. I always loved Valerie. I always thought she was really funny member of the group. Like, she's attractive looking, but she's obviously not, like, she's more of, like, the tech girl, the nerdy girl. We got Johnny Barracuda. I love the name, dude. Agent Zero. Kind of gives you, like, Snake Eyes vibes, which I wonder if that wasn't kind of a inspiration. And then we get this kind of different look at Valerie. She definitely, as he says, a more realistic, quote-unquote, drawing of her. In one of his favorite drawings, we get Deuce right here. Kind of the Sean Connery of the bunch. Of course, Major Maxim, the villain. Assassin X. Again, I don't see him saying it in here, but I gotta think that some of these are, like, definitely influenced by G.I. Joe. Has to be. Because this is definitely, like, the antithesis. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow. Kind of interesting there to get a look here. We get the Hammer Army, you get Kane. Just love how each of these uniforms are so different while also maintaining that kind of uniform with the same, design aesthetic as, like, the rest of the Hammer Army. Get Dr. Karnov von Krippler. Evil Natalia, because, spoilers, she definitely becomes evil. And we get the Hammer High Fuhrer. Get some of the other villains. I loved this guy. I can't remember the name for the life of me. It's been a while since I read Danger Girl. Definitely want to probably spotlight Danger Girl on the channel at some point, but I just love this. I got this guy with a hook hand and this little person with these grappling hands. Just super funny. Different sketches from the comics. I love this. The ideas for the Danger Girl D logo silhouette figure. This is interesting too. I didn't know about this. Like a proposed Danger Girl pinball game. Like, this book was super hot quote unquote. Hate using that term, but it was like one of the hot books out when it was coming out. 98, I think, is when it debuted. Obviously, it suffered of some scheduling issues. It wasn't coming out monthly by any means. I think none of those books, for the most part, were coming out. I think the book that went the furthest was Crimson, obviously. I think it had like 24 issues. Battle Chasers took forever. It went from Cliffhanger to Wildstorm. Well, Wildstorm was still part of Image. Then it went to DC Cliffhanger. Well, went to DC when Wildstorm was sold, and then it went back to Image for issue 9, and then it just, last year, 2023, came back for a 3-issue run, and now it's on hiatus again. But Danger Girl had it did release 7 issues over the span of, I believe, 2.5, 3 years. Eventually, it had some one-shots, a couple miniseries, but J. Scott Campbell never did any interiors past the 7 issues, which I would love to see him return to this cast of characters. I mean, I just love... He does, like, the best facial... He does the best faces. I gotta think Kevin Maguire, definitely probably one of his artistic influences, because much like Kevin Maguire, he definitely does a great job getting those emotions across. And then here he said he did a more Disney-esque toon style for no particular reason other than to experiment and have fun. And it's funny because they definitely... Well, they look like a more mature Disney cartoon, but definitely gets those vibes across. You could see this style put up next to any of those Disney cartoons. It'd be interesting to see him kind of illustrate maybe a Danger Girl cartoon. I know that'd be a lot of work, but maybe something along that style. The section that's developed towards the development of the toys and video game, do's and don'ts he created in an effort to better and more accurately control the 3D conception of the Danger Girls. That way they would look as close to his art style as possible. So pretty interesting here. Following the rule of the body being 7 heads tall. Bunch of cool notes, just like everything. So many specific things. It's funny. Boobs should look soft and squishy, not hard looking. I mean, it's Abbey boobs, the hang loose look. Kind of funny that he has all these specific notes. Hourglass figure. I don't remember if these toys ever made it. I mean, I think these look like more statues, but at least that's how I remember them. I remember like statues coming out, not figures, but definitely be interesting to kind of check to see what came out from that. Then you got the villains, obviously. I love seeing stuff like this, with the notes being very descriptive of the costume and why they're wearing what they're wearing. I know there was a Danger Girl video game. I think it came out for PlayStation, but I never played it. Love all these turnarounds. While he's working on the video game, he had to design a new character that could fill in as a third Danger Girl, since the comic book Natalia was now a bad girl. So we get this Danger Girl mechanic and an occasional adventurer, JC. I don't remember if she ever made it into the comic books. I didn't read much past the one-shots in the 7 issues of the original series. Interesting, you got potential replacements with Dakota Redfeather, Monkey Wrench, which is kind of who JC is. Kind of cool to see some of this stuff. I don't know if any of this ever played out, but definitely want to maybe check out some of the other Danger Girl comics now and see what maybe he pulled from this. Arabian Nights type theme that he came up with. Abbey of Arabia. Different looks that they may have on their different adventures. Pretty cool. Asian adventure theme. Then we get some storyboards, which is pretty dope for the video game. And that, he says, the idea was to give this sequence the feel of an 80s style afternoon cartoon show a la Thundercats or G.I. Joe. So pretty cool to see this stuff. Because again, never played the video game, but pretty cool to see that he storyboarded this stuff. So it makes sense why he was, not maybe the most consistent with getting this book out monthly, because it was so popular that he got pulled in all these different directions. Different load screens that he came up with for the game. I love these. I kind of wish we could... I don't know if he did this on this color paper or if it's on white and they just made it this color for here. I love getting to see just the pencils. More of the load screens. Interesting. Now, so we had a matte paper. Now it's glossy. So I'm wondering if maybe this is some of the added stuff, because I can't remember the original sketchbook. More stuff from the video game. Cover, advertising illustrations. So, okay, so yeah. That's, okay, now it makes sense. That's why I thought they they were statues because they were 7-inch McFarlane action figures, and then DC Directs PVCs. And then these are for the 12-inch figures. Alternate covers for Danger Girl Kamikaze. First time ever seeing these is in here. Got this. I remember this cover this was for the Wildstorm special from Wizard, and it had, we got Grifter from Wildcats with Abbey Chase. Super dope. And these are those one-shots I was talking about. Love these. Got a little crossover with Hip Flask for Richard Starking's character. And then we just got some more sketches to kind of round out the rest of this. Such a phenomenal, just such a great book. I love art books, love sketchbooks. Definitely have been trying to pick up as many as I can. They're definitely fun to go through on the channel. Get to take a little bit of a peek. And maybe somebody maybe you guys picked this up after checking it out. Maybe you're on the fence and then you kind of get a look inside and see that, no, these are dope. These are definitely worth every penny. Got some fan commissions here from 2009, 2006. And I don't remember this happening. G.I. Joe and Danger Girl crossover. Definitely going to have to check to see if this exists, because I don't remember it. Then we got the cover for the 10th anniversary and deluxe edition hardcover. And we leave off with some more thumbnails of none other than Abbey Chase. But great book, great sketchbook. Love J. Scott Campbell, all his stuff. Definitely going to be putting up some Danger Girl episodes, maybe just going through first issue. Maybe do an overview of the whole 7 issues. But hope you dug that. Make sure you check out the rest of the stuff on the channel. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Hit that bell icon so we can notify you every time a new vid drops. And on that note, I'm out.